So who's a startup in here? Are all these startups? All are startups. Mostly early stage, or have you all selected business models yet? Early stage. How many of you are B2C? I'm curious. How many of you are B2B? Excellent, excellent. Okay, so I'm with Startup WiseGuys. We're from Tallinn, Estonia. Have any of you heard of us? Small, okay. All right, we just spoke, yeah. So we used to be a wide-scope accelerator. Our portfolio has 34 companies in it at the moment from 28 different countries. And we're currently in program right now, and we have 9 companies from 9 different countries. So we're very international, and we've brought companies in from everywhere from South Africa, India, Argentina, this batch alone. We've recently made the switch to go B2B. And why we went B2B is because for us, at least in our ecosystem, a lot of the mentors come from software backgrounds. A lot of the successful companies in our portfolio have gone B2B. And we just need to select a vertical. As an accelerator, we need to specialize and we need to move forward. So I have a question for you. You're all early stage startups. How many of you bought a beer this weekend? Bought a beer this weekend? Or a drink? Or a coffee? Something. I'm assuming most people did. How many of you purchased an app this weekend? Not a single hand went up. So one thing, like a very basic reason why we went B2B is because consumers aren't willing to pay, whereas businesses are expecting to pay and they're expecting a quality service. Moving forward, it's like the wild, wild west. We hear about Instagram selling for $1 billion. We hear about WhatsApp selling to Facebook, and Snapchat some offers of $4 billion. But these are really difficult to get to, and you have to get quite lucky. Over the past 10 years, this statistic speaks for itself. There have been more billion-dollar companies compared to consumer startups, and this is very simple. Even the companies that power the likes of Facebook and other social networks, those are the companies that they're paying money to. And Facebook, you think of them as a consumer-facing company, but I heard a statistic the other day that they make $20,000 a minute just from advertising revenue. So if they're not B2B, I don't know what is. Present day, companies are spending $500 billion a year with legacy enterprise companies. This is an astounding number. And Snapchat hasn't even made $1. So the future is now. Cloud is a big part of the future. And for example, cloud is supposed to have an impact of $6.3 trillion by the year 2025. Right now, it's still in its infancy stages, and it's a perfect opportunity. I believe Vitaly was talking about trends and hopping on board early and taking a big slice of the pie while the opportunity is there. How many of you actually have a cloud-based startup? You mind telling us what it is? It's approximately. Okay. Okay. I'm just curious, how's the cloud enabled you to do your startup?
Well, the whole product is served as software as a service, so it's in the cloud, and people use it on their browser. I don't know what else you need to know. I mean, it's pretty fair.
So for example, I didn't know I was going to be up here giving a presentation today. Found 10 minutes ago, and I was able to pull this one out from like 3 months ago, and I was able to do it. It was actually quite excellent. Anyone else care to share what their cloud-based startup is? In the back.
Also be scalable, dynamic as per what you need with regards to resources.
Right. So it just makes it easier. Other things such as natural disasters. Japan had this nuclear meltdown and the tsunami after the earthquake. SaaS and cloud-based companies grew like 70% in the next 2 years after this. So it's really making connectivity a lot easier. Looking at some trends, this is a chart of exits and funding from 2007. You can see social is very, very, very much at the top there, the big box at the bottom right with the red square around it, followed by gaming, advertising, and sales. B2B is not as prevalent yet. If we just jump forward a little bit, the red circle represents social, and you can see how much the trends have shifted towards data, business intelligence, cloud SaaS. Advertising is still up there. I think that's going to be around forever if it's not going to grow. So what's it going to look like in the future? Well, there's certain opportunities that are just developing now. Can anyone name an opportunity that they think is going to be huge in the next 5 years or 10 years?
Bartering.
Bartering.
Trade my socks for your shoes.
Yep.
No money.
No money. What's your startup?
Price and search engine.
Okay. No, very much. Sharing economy is huge. We heard Airbnb earlier. There's companies all over the place that are doing this on a local scale and becoming quite successful because people don't need as much as they used to. Anyone else care to share a trend? Biomedicine. Okay. Why?
I think it will explode in a couple of years.
Okay. Anyone know any statistics about 3D printing? Well, manufacturing and 3D printing is growing 60% year over year. And we heard that 20% is a nice number. 60% is a really nice number. And the total economic impact by the year 2025 is expected to be over $1 trillion. So these are these types of things. A/B testing. Everyone knows what A/B testing is in here, right? We're a quite technical group. But did you know that, the Obama administration, when he was running for re-election, implemented A/B testing, and apparently A/B testing on the site contributed to over $40 million additional dollars to his campaign. Did you know that over 60% of tech companies today run less than 5 optimization tests on their site each month? Pretty astounding. If you know the results are, if you know there are going to be positive results, people aren't doing it. That's another opportunity. We talked about the cloud earlier. The cloud market's supposed to be 150 billion this year. Security. We all know what happened with these celebrity leaks, and people aren't secure putting their stuff on the internet. But did you know that the number one, or anyone know the most common password? Yeah, or password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this. It's pretty stupid, but it's the number one barrier to adoption for cloud-based companies. SaaS, we spoke about this. Most investments and exits today are actually going towards SaaS. This is because it's just much smarter, much more efficient, and it's a very scalable solution. So we're all hoping to reach a scalable level in here. And this is, well, something like 40% of accelerator investments actually go into SaaS-based companies. Future data. 95% of the data created throughout human history has been created in the past 2 years. And false data costs US companies over $500 billion annually. Just false data, wrong data. People are getting smarter, but the data is just not, or people are getting smarter, but they're not able to use the data as efficiently. There have been more exits, and there have been like 2 big exits recently, 70 million, 100 million. Well, not that big, but relevant. Just from social media data alone. People are using using pictures and Twitter information to make businesses smarter. It's quite predictive as well. Maybe now you'll consider B2B, at least as a business model, and moving forward, and you can take a look at some of these trends. I'm more than happy to talk more about many different things, so please come pull me aside. As I mentioned earlier, I don't want to sell WiseGuys too much, but we're opening up applications. So if you're looking about coming through an accelerator, we have over 120 international mentors. We have a 4-month program in Talon. It's quite fun. Many of our startups are looking to raise between 100 and 500,000 after leaving us. So my name is Eric, and contact me. Here's my information, and talk to you afterwards.
Thank you, Eric.
Any questions?
Any questions? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Why your Twitter?
There's quite a few Erik Andersons, so I figured why not just do the easy solution.